Hi everyone, welcome back to another pick a card reading for the heart and soul. I am Cheryl Harnish. Hi. And today's reading is getting through self-isolation, how to get through this quarantine period that the world is in. And also this Sunday, I'm doing a live collective group reading. It's going to be the first one. I'm really excited, so I hope you can join me for that. And I've put my personal readings are on sale. It's the self-isolation madness sale. So if you would like a personal reading, which they're much more specific to you than the group readings, I do them by video. That all the information for that and where to get the cards is down below. So for today's reading, we're going to be using this little deck. It's a mini deck, which is the Czech translation of the Path of the Soul deck. And I like these cards, so they're super cute. But I also have a very special surprise for you. That's right, folks. We're going to do some charms today. Yay! So this is a two-tiered reading. So the first part of the reading will be the cards. So our choices for the cards today is group 1, group 2, or group 3. And then for the second tier or the second part, you're going to pick a tickle trunk. Okay. So just so you can see in there, I don't want to show you too much, but they each have some charms, and we're going to dump them out as the second part of your reading and see what additional information we can get that's more specific to you. So our choices will be group A, group B, and group C. Okay. Now, as always, take your time, pause the video if you need to. You are more than welcome to choose more than one card deck or more than one tickle trunk. Okay. So you do what you need to pick your selection, and I'm going to get us started with the readings. Hi, group 1. How are you? Fun times staying at home, isn't it? Okay, so let's see what Spirit has for you as far as guidance for this. Oh, okay. So we have the channeling guide. So this is definitely about your connection to Spirit, working your intuition. We have the dreaming card, which is really looking at your dreams, garnering whatever information you can get from your dreams. We have the joyous card, and I like this little guy because he looks like he's kind of smiling in there. It's a very heart chakra based energy. Oh, and we have love, Companion's Love. I think it's been a while since this one's come out. So I think I'm going to start with this one. Companion's Love normally comes out. It is a relationship card, right? And it almost looks like two people, their chests, they're standing with their chests together, and each of their hands are coming down to hold this heart together. So I feel like because this is an isolation reading, they are talking to both of you in the group who are in relationship and who are not. So for those of you that are in a relationship right now, it feels like they're saying that there's a lot that goes on in your relationship that really has you reflecting on the relationship itself, about maybe having some challenges getting through this too much togetherness, right? And a lot of that is going to be diverting some of your attention to other things besides your relationship. However, it does feel like this is helping to create a stronger bond or a closer bond in some way. And for those of you that aren't in relationship, a lot of this, because we have the joyous card sitting here, there's a lot going on here that's talking about coming into your own heart center. And, you know, And I have to say, this is applicable to all of you, that for whatever reason, as I'm holding this card and looking at this joyous card that has, it's these greens and pinks here, which is all the heart chakra. I feel like, they're talking about intuition, connecting with spirit, and it's drawing me to heart coherence, that a big part of something that you can practice throughout these few weeks is really getting into your heart center. Now, years ago, like 15 whatever years ago it was, Spirit was actually directly speaking to me, teaching me how to open my intuition, use it, yada yada. And I wrote about it in my book, but they talked about centering on the heart and breathing through the heart with the feeling of love. And, I wrote about that 15 years ago when everyone was focused on the third eye. Oh, you need to use your third eye to open. And yet now, Greg Braden nowadays talks about heart coherence and the power of the heart being the strongest organ within our body that connects us to our intuition. And he talks about heart coherence, about breathing through your heart in the state of love, gratitude, compassion, that sort of thing. And so it's quite a powerful thing. And I feel like with these two heart-centered cards coming up here, and we have the channeling guide card, they're talking about, taking some time and space for yourself to really begin to build your own personal connection, intuitive connection to spirit, right? Through taking that quiet space for yourself to meditate, to open up, to get into that frequency of your heart and intuition, to open up this channel within you to be able to bring through the messages that spirit wants to bring through to you, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if for some of you there might be a bit more channeled writing, or a lot of more direct, like just kind of knowing, feeling guided about what steps to take on your path, that sort of thing, because the dreaming card is up here too. And the dreaming card kind of has a twofold meaning. So part of the dreaming card is about your dreams becoming amplified, and like writing them down and really seeking to understand the symbolism in your dream, because there's a lot of guidance in them for you about your life, your mental state, your emotional state, and even your spiritual state. But the dreaming card is also talking about like your daydreams, your deepest desires, the things you dream of having in your life. So there's something really significant here about getting really tuned in, getting the brain tuned in to the frequency of the heart, opening up your intuition, connecting to source energy, and bringing that intuitive information through so that you can live more congruently to the things that you desire in your life. Okay. Now, this is, what to work on sort of thing, like your homework during isolation. And this is a group reading. If you'd like a personal reading, I am available, and all the information is down below. And we have our part 2, our times. So group A, B, or C, I'll let you make your choice, and I'll see you there. Hi, group 2. How are you? Okay, so which way are we going here? This way. I'm looking at them all before you guys can. So we have, we have the friendship card. It's been a while since that one has come out. And okay, we have Royal Order, which is about taking care of this physical vessel that you have. We have Treasures, which is really about discovering more within yourself. Sometimes it's hard for us to see the good within ourselves. And that's what the treasures card is talking about. And also becoming more aware of some of gifts, talents, abilities that you have that maybe you haven't explored yet or haven't become conscious of using yet. And okay, and we have the Revelations card. Now I love that this one is up. So I think I am going to start with this card actually. You know, the Revelations card, it looks like this flower is opening, and for whatever reason it gives me the feeling of Mary Magdalene, and I don't know why, but with the Revelations card, it's about coming to a new perspective about what you previously held as truth being expanded somehow to a greater truth. So it's kind of like seeing things from a new perspective or gaining a greater understanding that you didn't have previously about things. And with that, it is talking about like a job change. And I know for many of you were laid off and like big changes with the job. But I feel like what they're more so talking about here is after the isolation period is out, is that through this clarity, for some of you, you may decide to change your jobs, change careers, change what you're doing in some way. And because this is a card of new beginnings. So there's some sort of new beginning, but the root of it is beginning now during this isolation process that you're in. And through that, like, you know, because they're talking about coming to this greater truth, greater understanding, opening, new beginning, that's where I feel that the treasure card is coming in here, because it is talking about you seeing yourself in a different light. Like, you know, we limit ourselves and say, oh, I'm not artistic, I can't draw. But there are so many hundreds of other avenues of creativity, for example, right? So there's something about you seeing more to what you have inside of you than you've previously seen so far, because there is this opening for you guys. So there's a lot of self-discovery that's happening here. Now, we also have the friendship card, right? This is definitely a heart chakra card because of all the pinks. And there is, I'll see if I can hold it. There's this trail of yellow that runs through this, and it's almost like this infinity card. And it feels like, you know, they're talking about that even though we are forced into this social distancing, that it's for you guys in group 2 especially, that it's important that you maintain your friendships and your connections, you know, like, you know, it can sometimes weigh us down a little bit. And this is talking about, you know, answer the texts, reply. And, you know, I normally don't advocate, social media, but it is talking about, you know, staying connected to your friends through, you know, FaceTime and social media and doing all that, and making sure you have that basis and that grounding, because it's really important for your heart. It's really important for your mental stability, right? So reach out, like they're talking that you take the time to reach out and connect with people in the healthiest, best ways that you can during this isolation. And the other card that's here, they're talking about self-care, you guys, because with the Royal Order card, that is all about taking care of this. This is the only meat suit that you get in this lifetime, anyhow. And, you know, if you are kind of feeling under and feeling that loneliness and, you know, isolated from the isolation, to not fall into the pattern of eating to soothe yourself, you know, that emotional eating sort of thing, that it's really important that you maintain a healthy diet and maintain a healthy immune system. and that, you know, through this time, that this is more of a discovery time for you. So with that, it's also about making sure that the environment that you're living in, you know, your place, is kept in good order, and that it's pleasing to you, so that it feels like a space that is whole and complete for you. Okay. Now, this is just the first part of your reading. We've got our charm part, which is group A, B, or C. And I am available for personal readings if you'd like, and all the information is down below. I'll see you guys to our choice B, or our next tier, in just a sec. Hi, group 3. How are you? Oh, fun times, hey? Fun times. So let's see. What do we have here? Oh, we have universal connection. And this one is a lot about writing. And we have the nature card. It's very soft, very gentle energy. We have breakthrough. And we have, nice. And we have doves. This one has been making an appearance in a lot of the readings lately. So there's new cycles happening here for you guys. Okay. I feel like I'm drawn most to this card. So we're going to go here. This universal energy, universal connection card, like I said, it is about writing. It's really about you connecting to source, connecting to yourself. And this kind of writing that they're talking about, you know, I have cards in the other decks that are, like, one of them is called writing, which can, you know, cover journaling and that sort of thing. But with the universal connection, this is something that's more substantial that they're asking about the writing. Like it's something that is more of a complete, like a project, like a whole thing, that there's something to come through you that needs to come out in this world in some way. And it is about reaching people, whether that's a small amount of people or a large amount of people. I don't know, because this is a group reading. But they are asking you to really listen to that calling. For those of you who have had the calling for writing, that now is the time to do that. Now, the other card that's sitting here is the nature card. And with that nature card, they are talking about you guys getting out into nature. So I know that the self-quarantine rules are different in each country. So if you're allowed to get out there, get out of the house, connect with Mother Earth, put your feet on Mother Gaia and feel the grass or the snow, you know. This is about aligning yourself to that. Like, there's such a presence of the energy around us that sometimes we miss when we're confined to our places. And by getting out, it's like using nature to realign our energies, to bring us into this current, this moment, the here and now. And there's a lot of cleansing that happens, like emotionally and energetically, when we connect with nature. And, you know, I did have somebody ask me, how do I connect to nature if I'm not physically able to get out into nature? And so for those of you who aren't able to get out there, like, I mean, even if it's just for a walk down the street, right? If you can't get out, then crystals are an amazing source of natural energy that really can change the energy around your home, and just to sit and play with them makes a big difference. House plants, get some house plants in. If you're not able to do that, if you have the extra funds, order yourself some flowers online and have them delivered. Like, do whatever you can to get natural things into your home. And the nature card does also cover like things like smudging and saging, right? So any of those sort of things that are going to get you grounded, get your energy cleared, and get you connected. And I feel like they're talking about that necessary, is being necessary, one, to kind of get you into that creative flow of writing. But I see what they're really pointing to here, and that is the breakthrough card. So you see, it's like this organized grid system, right? And we have everything organized in our life in a pattern, and we're operating in this particular pattern. You know, I do this, and, or in relationship, I do that, or, you know, we are creatures of habit. That's, humans just are. And this is something about breaking your conditioning, breaking your patterns, breaking out of your habits, making changes. And for some of you, getting out into nature is a change or a break in the habits. And for others of you, it will be that that energy supports you in, whether that's personal growth work, in the mental, emotional arena, to energetically support you in being able to make that change or that shift. And I have to say, okay, so I feel like, okay, I'm going to go to this one. So we have the Doves card here, right? And with the Doves card, you know, these are two beautiful doves that are kissing, and their tails connect here and spiral off into infinity. And I'm going to hold it just a little bit closer, because as you can see, there is energy vibrating all around. And that really makes sense with a breakthrough card here, because the Doves card specifically is talking about cycling from the old into the new. And so, you know, they're talking about breaking habits, breaking patterns for you, and cycling from the old to the new. And because that nature card is so gentle in its energy, it feels like this comes in such a natural way. The changes that you want to implement, you know, the habits that you want to break, that it feels like it comes naturally in this process over these few weeks, that it's not, you know, I'm going to force myself to do whatever. Is that there's just this lightning, shifting, changing, and that you move into this new cycle and naturally begin changing these things that you want to change or feel you need to change in your life. And you know, that also applies to things that you may not be consciously aware of now, but after the shift comes, you look back and go, you know what? I was doing blah, blah, blah. And I totally stopped doing that. Like that kind of energy. But it feels like they're talking about breaking through that stuff, making this greater connection, getting really rooted and grounded in yourself, and moving into a new cycle where you, for those of you who don't do any writing, that you begin exploring that. Because again, for you guys in group 3, there is something to come out of you, through you, out into the world here in some form of significant communication. So writing, speaking, videos, I'm not sure. Anyhow, your reading's not done. We still have our charms to do. I'm so excited. So choice A, B, or C. I will see you guys there. Hi, Group A. How are you? Okay. So for our chimes, let's see what we have. We're just going to dump them out here. And okay, all right. So we have an astrological sign here. So let's go with that first. We have Cancer. Oh, and we have Aries. Okay, so with the sign of Cancer, Cancer is the crab. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So everything that has to do with nurturing, mothering, the feminine, more feminine qualities of intuition, caring, that sort of thing. Family is a very big thing with Cancer sign. Now, we also have Aries, but with these two charms coming out, I have to say either Capricorn and Aries people are going to be important to you over this period, or the qualities that are the qualities of the sign are coming out or coming through you or through your life in some way. Now, the other thing with Cancer being ruled by the moon is that it has a lot to do with intuition, right? So there's something either about honoring your intuition, developing your intuition, taking time to really work on that over this isolation period, that sort of thing. But we also have Aries. So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. And, you know, there's a lot of leadership, natural leadership that comes with Aries. But it can also be about, because Aries are very good at being self-focused. And there's something about you focusing on yourself. And this is kind of like a new beginning, a new start, a new way. So whether that's coming through this period or once this period is over, you know, it's going to be different for each of you because we're in this group reading. Okay, now we also have turtle. So we have crab and turtle. Both of these are like shell. Okay, and we have the seashell. So there's quite a strong message here about self-protection, keeping yourself protected, isolating, that sort of thing. So you're going to have to be mindful that you aren't completely withdrawing from society through this period, that you aren't, you know, hiding behind your walls. There's something about coming out of your shell, really opening up. And with turtle, there's a larger message of patience, right? Because turtle takes its time getting from point A to point B. And I feel like you need some patience with yourself in this process of coming into this new start or new beginning. You know, ladybugs actually really have a lot to do with good luck and prosperity and that kind of thing. So I feel like the universe is trying to encourage you to like just hold on. Things are going to be okay. Now I want to go, see, I'm going to go over to this butterfly, because I feel like that butterfly is actually talking about that transformation of, like, you know, your intuitive development and caring and nurturing for your people, family, friends, whoever that is at this time, and really coming out of your shell and transforming into this new beginning where you start to really focus on you more and it becomes more about you. You know, we have both this little footprint, which is so cute, but that footprint is about leaving your mark on the world. You know, the kind of impression you leave people with or leave in this world in general. So there can be some, you know, clarity coming for you guys over path and purpose and that sort of thing. And especially with this, you know, this steering wheel, the wheel of the ship, this is about coming to captain your own ship, learning how to be the captain of your own ship, like switching from the others mode into me mode and what I want to do and where I'm heading sort of energy or idea. And with that cat there, the cat really represents intuition. So I really feel like that's talking about that. Now we've got two hearts. We have the circle, and the circle is actually, although it's very simplistic, it's very symbolic of a completion, right? It comes into a whole, and there's something about you coming into completion, into this wholeness, right? So it feels like we've got both the fork and knife there, like both of those, like the knife and the axe, both, this little axe here, both represent cutting through stuff. And it feels like this is about you cutting through some of your own stuff inside, cutting through, you know, our own BS that we feed ourselves, but also, you know, cutting off those things that may not be necessary or good for ourselves that we gain in this reflection over this time. Now I'm just going to flip this guy over. I can't see what it is. Ooh, okay. So we have the trumpet there too. And I feel like, you know, sometimes that is relating to music, but with that trumpet or trombone, whichever it is, I'm not up on my musical instruments. Whenever I see those, it reminds me of angels. It does. And this is kind of like a reminder to be communicating with your higher guides, your angels, and that sort of thing. And there's something about, you know, spreading the words sort of thing, like, you know, symbolically when the trumpet sounds, it's like heralding something. So I feel like that kind of energy is in here. Like there's something really good coming out of this situation for you guys. Oh, we do have the guitar here. I'm just noticing that. So with the guitar here, that is absolutely about really being mindful of your music, but also using music to change your frequency vibration, to elevate your mood, and to really feed and nurture your soul through this time. And this is kind of funny. We have both like Cupid and a bow and arrow. So it feels to me like in some way, whatever you guys are working on or going through, you guys are on target because your arrow, so to speak, is being aimed in the right direction. So I feel like that's really encouraging. And I wouldn't be surprised that for those of you who are single, that after this isolation period is over, there might be someone new coming in. And I'm normally not into doing that sort of thing, like relationship stuff. And we have these two, both these hearts say the exact same thing, and they say made with love. And so it feels like you guys are really creating something new here that is, you know, more from the heart, more congruent. And, you know, there's the horse there, which really represents personal power and freedom coming through all of this. Okay, this is just a general reading with the charms. I'm available for personal readings, and I really hope you guys do join me on Sunday for our live collective reading. I'm looking forward to meeting you all. I'm sending you guys my love. Take care. Hi, Group B. How are you? Okay, so let's get our little tickle trunk out. And we're just gonna spill her out here and see what do we have. Okay, some of these are upside down. I'm just gonna get them sorted a little bit. So just give me a second. Okay, we've got some interesting chimes in here. Actually, this is interesting. So, and we have a little guitar. Right. We'll just get this guy and then bag of money. Excellent. Okay, wow. I'm drawn to these two guys at first because, believe it or not, Leo in the astrological signs and Whale, they actually really go together. So this, of course, can be talking about Leo energy, Leo people with Sun, Moon, Venus, or Mars in Leo who are in your life over this period, who are somewhat significant to you. Also, though, Leo, along with being like diehard romantics and liking to, you know, really enjoying being the star of the show and having attention, Leo is also a highly creative sign. And the thing with Whale is Whale represents unleashing your creativity, freeing it. And that is actually symbolized through the movement of air blowing out of the blowhole at the top of a whale's head back, wherever that is located. So there's a lot going on here about creativity. So it feels like this is the time for you guys to really focus on your creative endeavors. Now we have a little golden turtle, and whoops, I flipped him on his back, poor little guy. And we have a shell. So again, it's that feeling, of course, because we're in isolation, but I have a more positive feeling with this. It feels like, you know, this like kind of retreating into your own shell sort of thing is giving you the space to really unleash this creative force within you. And of course, a big message with turtle is usually about patience, having patience. So I feel like that's patience with your creative process, but also patience with how things are unfolding and stuff. So we also have a guitar in this one. Okay, it's a different guitar, but it's still the same thing. Ooh, and we have the devil. So I do want to talk about that. Now, we have both. That's interesting. So we have both a cross and we have the devil. I'm actually going to hold him up closer to you guys so you can see. So with that devil being there, he is a lot about our shadow, working through, shadow aspects of ourselves. He's also, you know, how often a devil, they depict an angel and a devil sitting on your shoulder talking to you. And so a lot of the times that devil is representing your, you know, that not so helpful inner voice that can really impede on this creative process. And the voice that's, you know, like, you don't really need to like work on any of that stuff. Just go watch some TV for a while. Like, it's the distraction, the thing. It wants to distract you away from your spiritual path, your purpose, from empowering yourself, diving into your creativity, and really coming out of your shell. We also have the letter J. So I'm just putting it out there that is there. Music is going to be important for you guys because with this little guitar there, it is talking about really being mindful of music. I do have a playlist that's for healing and manifesting, so you can check that out on my channel. But also just using music, being really conscious of what you're listening to, that can really help you in your creative flow here. Oh, look at that. Okay. So we have the planet Saturn, and Saturn represents feeling restricted or restrictions in some way. Saturn is karmic. Saturn is Father Time, and it really, when Saturn's involved, it slows the timing of things down. So again, I feel like they're pointing to your need for patience because Saturn delays and slows things. It's also talking about that restriction that's in your life at this time, which is important. But we also have the money here. So I feel like for many of you guys in group 2, you know, there's a lot of money concerns at this time. And that's usually coming up when there's another cross. Okay. That's usually coming up when Spirit is wanting to tell you that things are going to be okay, that we've got the butterfly here. So things are going to change or transform from what has come down with all of this in the isolation, and you will be back in a flow of money. The Pisces, the 2 fish, again, I feel like for whatever reason that these fish are talking about abundance. Now, Pisces is also a very creative sign that lives in their head, right? And like Pisces often don't have their feet on the ground. So again, they're pointing to your creativity, but they're also pointing to your imagination. So I really do feel in some way they're talking about manifesting and stuff. And we've got the rake here, which is a lot about cleaning things up, because a rake, literally, you know, we rake the grass and we clean things up. And I feel like that's in relation to that devil card, is cleaning up some of this inner talk and stuff like that. And there's also a need for self-care, you guys, during this period. A lot of self-nurturing, because we have that teddy bear. And the teddy bear is where we go for comfort and healing. Now, there is wisdom here in all of this coming. Like, you guys are going to be gaining a lot of wisdom about your creativity, the creative process, making your connection here. And, you know, we've got that star coming up. So that's really about you being that shining star, like shining your light in some way. And what is this? Hold on. Oh, look at that. And it's, okay, it's a castle. So that, again, is talking about your home, your inner castle, it could be. But I feel with the Saturn, the restriction, the castle, the money, you know, there's a lot of concerns for you guys. And it's like you need to switch gears and switch modes out of the fear thinking and the restrictive thinking to step into some of your imaginative, I'm making up my own words, your imagination and manifestation process, because things are going to switch once this isolation period is through, okay? So I feel like there's a lot of reassurance for you here. Okay, you guys, I appreciate you being here very much. I hope you do join me on Sunday for our live collective reading. I'm really looking forward to that. And I am available for personal readings. They're on sale. So I hope to see you guys again very soon. Take care. Much love. Hi, Group C. How are you? For those of you who chose our third tickle trunk, let's open this bad boy up. We're just gonna dump it out here. Oh, there's one more. Okay, so let's get these flips. We have a couple astrological signs showing up. Is that Gemini, is it? Okay. So we have Gemini and we have Sagittarius. So these are people that could be important to you, that you're connecting with. Again, because this reading is about, you know, getting through the isolation and what we need to do. Oh, look at that. This is actually repeating some of the messages that came through with the cards, interestingly enough, because I want to go here. We've got both. Oh, look at that. Okay, that makes so much sense. There's a lot for you guys about, we've got the leaf here. And although the leaf is like, it represents growth, you know, the budding of new leaves and a new season, a new time, I really feel like this is leaning more to getting out and being connected, getting out of the house. I know we're in isolation, but if you are allowed to literally get some activity going, we have a bicycle, like physically get your body moving, go out and ride your bike if you're in a snow-free area. Get out in nature, just go touch the ground. This is really important. Get your body moving. And if you can't do that, at the very least, get out in your car and go for a drive. You don't have, you can maintain social distance while you're in your car. It's just about switching up your scenery and switching up the energy here for you guys. Like, a lot about that. And we actually have, look at that. 1, 2, we have 3 keys sitting here. So that to me, like, keys open doors. And so there's something about, like, new doorways open for you, new avenues are opening for you. Some greater understanding is helping you to move through into a new area or arena of your life. And we also have a bumblebee here. And bumblebees, like, bees are productive little creatures, right? So this is about your productivity. Even though you're in this place of isolation, there is something about you guys being productive. And you know, when we talk about a beeline, like a bee just kind of travels, zigzags its way through. And it feels like they're talking about this not being one direct straight line. for you that you're going to feel like you're doing this sort of thing, but you are actually making it to ends, to an end here, to a point. There's a point to it all. Now, I want to talk about our astrological signs, because Gemini and Sagittarius people could be involved in your life, people with Sun, Moon, Venus, or Mars in these two signs. But a lot of the times when they come out as a charm, they're talking about the energies that these signs embody. And so Gemini is highly communicative. They are the talker, talk, 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 right? They are ruled by Mercury, and they're the ones that rule communication. And Mercury also rules the hands. So doing things over this time that, crafts, hobbies, things that you do with your hands, whether it's playing piano, scrapbooking, playing with cards and crystals, anything to do with using your hands is going to be really important. And keeping up the lines of communication, because we have our beautiful little turtle here, okay? And that turtle is talking about you not retreating into your shell, that even though we have social distancing doesn't mean that you have to withdraw completely, right? So there's a lot about staying in touch, staying in contact with people, keeping your head up and out in the world. Now, with Sagittarius being ruled by Jupiter, there's a lot to do with freedom. Jupiter frees, and Jupiter has a lot to do with higher law, higher principles, higher spirituality, higher learning. There's a lot of learning that goes on with Jupiter. And optimism. It's about keeping your head up, looking to the positive, looking to the good, doing gratitude even if you need to. And this is the backside of a little girl. I'm going to hold her up for you. This little girl. So it feels like there's important contact for females with you guys. And, okay. All right. Look at that. Guys, we have both. We have two mythical creatures here. We have both the mermaid and we have the unicorn. And so I feel like this is about you guys diving into the magic of life, looking for the magical, the mystical, the creative, connecting to something more or something greater, like making that a point and purpose during this time. We also have a shooting star, which to me is like connecting to the heavens, right? We make our wishes on shooting stars. So I feel like there's some clarity around where you want to go and what you want to do with your life. With the moon and the angel wing showing up here, I feel like this is talking about developing like intuition, all the more feminine aspects like self-care that has come up in this reading, but that is about caring for yourself, developing your intuition, staying connected with angels, guides, masters, whoever that is, because we also have the candle, which for me symbolically, it's just one of my own personal symbols that when I'm working intuitively and see a candle, that tells me that prayers are being said. So there's something about you guys really getting out and switching the energy up for you, for yourselves, so that you can open up your your communication and your intuition and make a connection to these higher realms. And then we have this beautiful little rose. So it feels to me like this is very much an opening for you guys. A big opening and blossoming. Okay. All right. Now that was just our group reading. I am available for personal readings, which are on sale. And I really do hope you join me for the live group reading, because that's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be answering questions for you. So stay in your hearts, you guys. Try to keep the love going through these crazy times. I'm wishing you guys all the best. Take care.